Hey guys, my name is Kreiver Zhou, and at the time that I'm making this video, I'm a rising sophomore at Boston University, and this is 5 things you should do to make the most out of your freshman year from a recent freshman. Before I get on with this video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with all of my future posts. And without further ado, let's start. To preface this video, I want you guys to know that we as human beings are beings of habit. And in The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, he talks about how we and our habits are most prone to change when there's a change in the environment or when we are going through a life stage transition. For instance, in your case, it would be from high school to college. And what better way to change you and your habits for the better than going off to college for your first year? And these are 5 things that I, as a freshman, learned throughout my year that I wish I had known when I started. Number 1, focus on your academics. One of the main reasons that you are in college is to learn. And despite your opinions about grades, to a certain extent, grades symbolize how well you understand the concepts in a class at the time, and they can also be a measure of how much hard work and dedication you have put in towards your academics. And when you have good grades, lots of doors open for you. For instance, I am currently working on a research project for a lab at the Photonics Center at Boston University, and I wouldn't have gotten this opportunity as a freshman had it not been for a friend and for my good grades in my fall semester. And I'm not lying, because one of the first things that the professor running the lab commented to me about during our first meeting was my good GPA. I'm not joking. 5 minutes into the meeting, he was already leading me to where the graduate students were so I could introduce myself. In summary, start off well academically, because it'll help you so much in your future, and it'll also help you improve your mental health, as you're not gonna have to worry about getting the best grades in your future harder classes. And then don't worry so much about getting a good GPA because you already started off well. Numero 2, network with faculty and staff. For the paraphrase words of Gary Vaynerchuk, one of the other reasons that you want to come to college is for the people that you'll meet and the connections you'll make. Essentially, college is a networking hub. When I first came in, I felt that the word networking had a slight negative connotation to it because, as defined by the New Oxford American Dictionary, aka the Max Dictionary, it states that networking is to interact with other people to exchange information and develop contacts, especially to further one's career. And that last part is where the negative connotation comes from, because you're not making connections because it's genuine, but because you have a motive. But during my freshman year, I realized that that is really not the case, because when you think about it, making friends is the same as networking. There is an end goal in mind for both things. Whereas networking is to further one's career, making friends is to satisfy a personal need for belonging and connection. So I like to think of networking as meeting new people, perhaps making friends along the way, and genuinely being interested in them, in what they do and what they can offer, and not focus on how I can use them for my own purposes. And networking is important because that's how you find opportunities and knowledge that you otherwise would not have access to. So to network with faculty, aka professors, you definitely want to go to their office hours and talk to them. Even if you don't have questions about any homework or about classes, just go and talk to them. Get to know them and have them recognize you and your face. And of course, engage in conversations. And secondly, you could also email them and perhaps set up a meeting so you could converse about things that this professor does outside of class, perhaps research or whatever that may be. And obviously, once classes are over, definitely send them a thank you note if they were very nice to you and were very helpful to you during the class. A show of gratitude is always welcome to everyone. And for other things like networking with people with similar interests to you or people of industry, definitely go to events such as career fairs or networking events that are hosted by the university or clubs, and just meet new people. And or just if you know where those people usually convene in, just go there and strike up conversation. And the most important thing about networking is that you make sure that your face is recognized. You and your face and your voice is recognized by the people that you want to network with. Do you remember what you learned about ethos, pathos, and logos during your high school years? Well, this is where it comes in play, because when you're networking, you're trying to build credibility with the person that you're networking, and ethos. Build your ethos. Number 3, try out everything. I remember my high school counselor telling me to add in my graduation speech to tell my fellow classmates that we shouldn't make the last 4 years of high school the best years of our life, which implies that we should make the 4 years of college the best of our lives. Gracias, Gabi. And what does that mean? Well, essentially trying out new things, whether they be academic or experience or social related. The one thing that we college students have to our advantage is time and age. We're still young, we may or may not know what we want to do with our lives, and so to figure that out, we have to try out a ton of things, and we'll slowly cross up the list of things that we think we could do, so that in the near future we won't have to deal with them, because we already crossed them out and we realized that, oh okay, that's something I could do, but I didn't like it, so. And that is a luxury we have over older adults, because when they want to try out new things, they really can't because they are tied down by life responsibilities, which we'll eventually have to face in a couple of years. We are privileged to have time on our side to try out everything, fail miserably, and not really have to deal with too many of the consequences. And back in Venezuela, where I'm from, I never really went out with my friends to the beach or to the sea, despite having beautiful beaches. And I didn't want to regret not doing that for life, so in my first semester, I went out with my friends from my floor to a Charles riverboat tour, and it was amazing. The beautiful sights of the river and Boston, the memorable moments we had as we bonded, and the experience was just awesome. To summarize, during your freshman year, you want to try out as many things as you can and that you want to do, so that you don't have many regrets after college. But of course, do it responsibly. Number 4, go out and make meaningful connections. Freshman year is the year to make friends. Everyone is in a new environment and everyone wants to make friends. So don't wait for people to approach you. Be the proactive person and open up and just approach people. They'll be more than welcome to talk to you and befriend you. And if you're more on the introverted side, simply just open yourself up a little bit more and don't think about any consequences that may have. Simply just do it. And don't let negative thoughts stop you from reaching out, such as, oh, is this person gonna like me or not? Or, oh, am I looking good enough to talk to people? Because first of all, it's up to them whether they like you or not. And second of all, who gives a fuck? If they don't like you, then just move on and find other people to talk to, because there's still a sea of crowds that want to talk to you and befriend you. And don't pressure yourself into thinking that you need to find your friends for the entire 4 years during your freshman year, because that's not how it goes. You still have 4 years to make friends, but during your freshman year, it'll be so much easier for you to make friends. And most probably, some of your friends that you're gonna make in freshman year will be friends during your entire college career. But like I said, don't sleep on freshman year to make connections, because in the future, it'll be so much harder for you to make friends since people will have already established their social circles. And while not impossible to enter those social circles in the future, it's definitely way harder. One way to make connections is to join clubs, but not just any club. Clubs that you actually care about and that you're interested in, because that's where you're gonna find the people that are most likely gonna vibe with you. And second easy way to connect with people is just befriending the people from your floor. For instance, I kind of moved in early into my dorm during my freshman year, and since my room was right in front of the garbage bins, I decided to leave my door open during the day, and whenever people would come by to throw away trash, I would just come out and greet them and say like, oh hey, hi, my name is Kreiver, blah 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 blah. And I know it takes a lot of energy for you to do that, especially if you're an introvert, but honestly, just do it, because you honestly are gonna regret not doing that in the next couple of weeks. And if you are crazy enough to do it, let your floor give you a haircut, just like I did. Check it out. It's really a great activity to bond with your floor and just have really fun moments in. But disclaimer, you have to be really confident in yourself to be okay if your haircut gets fucked up. I'm glad mine didn't. Thank you, Floor 9. Ooh, but now that I think of it, I don't really know if that's gonna be possible anymore because of the health and safety guidelines to stay away 6 feet apart and to not have so many people in one room. But don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll find a way. And even though it is the last and the least, this is the most important thing. Be yourself. It's cheesy, I know, but it's true. College is about you and your experience. When you're not being yourself, all the things that are happening to you are not really meant for you. They're not really satisfactory, and they're meant for the persona that you put on. And being yourself is about knowing your core values and priorities in life. And nothing that you do in college will really matter if they do not align with those core values and priorities. If you're wondering whether trying out things that are out of character for you could be considered being yourself, yeah. You're still being yourself because you're simply exploring different sides of you. And high-key, I think that if my high school friends saw me right now and my day-to-day in college, they would totally see me as a different person and perhaps be acting out of character. But in my opinion, I am more of myself than I ever was in high school because now I have the freedom to really be myself and explore the things that I want to be without feeling constrained by all the societal norms or the norms that was set upon by the people that you are surrounded with. And so exploring different sides of you is totally okay because you're still being you. But losing your identity and becoming the dream person that you want it to be is not it. To be somebody in this world, you have to be you and not somebody else. And those are my 2 cents from what I learned during my freshman year. Of course, doing these things in a more restrictive college environment because of the safety and health guidelines set out because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's gonna make things different, but not necessarily hard unless you think and make it hard. Life is also about adapting to new changes, and so if you're able to use current technology or innovate different ways of doing all of these 5 things that I just mentioned, you are gonna be so much better off. And you are not gonna regret it. Alright, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and subscribe to my channel because I have a ton more videos that are coming up that are so interesting. If you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions of topics that I could talk about in later videos, make sure to leave them down in the comment section below, or you can just hit me up on Instagram at Kreiver Zhou and DM me directly there. And other than that, have fun in your freshman year and make the most out of it. I'll see you in a bit.